Have you ever walked down a familiar street at night, only to feel like something was watching you from the shadows? That's how it all started for me, on a quiet suburban lane, right outside Old Man Grayson's house. His place was a stuff of local legend, a decaying Victorian mansion that seemed to sag under the weight of its own secrets. We kids used to dare each other to touch the rusty gate, but no one ever did. Mr. Grayson himself was a ghost, a silhouette in a window, a fleeting glimpse of a stooped figure in his overgrown garden. They said he was just a lonely old man, heartbroken after his wife vanished years ago. But the stories, they painted a different picture. Whispers of strange lights, muffled cries in the dead of night, and shadows that danced on his walls even when there was no light to cast them. I was a skeptic, of course, a budding journalist looking for a local human interest story. I thought, I'll just talk to him, hear his side, and debunk the myths. How naive I was. Getting him to open the door was the first challenge. It took days of knocking, leaving notes, and just waiting on his porch like a stray. Finally, the heavy oak door creaked open, and there he was. He was frail, with eyes that held a depth of sorrow I couldn't comprehend. He invited me in. The air inside was thick with the smell of dust and something else, something sweet and cloying, like wilted flowers. He was surprisingly gentle, offering me tea in a delicate, chipped cup. He told me about his wife, Eleanor, how she was the light of his life, and how the darkness took her. At first, I felt nothing but sympathy. This was just a grieving husband, consumed by loss. But as I visited more, I started noticing things. The way he'd always glance towards the locked basement door when he mentioned Eleanor, the strange, intricate carvings on the doorframe, symbols I didn't recognize, and the shadows. Oh. The shadows in that house, they didn't behead. They would stretch and twist into unnatural shapes in my peripheral vision. I'd turn my head, and they'd snap back to normal. I thought it was just my imagination, my own insecurities playing tricks on me. I've always been afraid of the dark, a silly, childish fear that's followed me into adulthood. I convinced myself that this old, dark house was just preying on my weakness. But then, one afternoon, while Mr. Grayson was in the garden, I let my curiosity get the better of me. My hand trembled as I touched the lock on the basement door. It was cold, ancient. I couldn't help myself. I picked the lock, a skill I'd learned for a story a long time ago. The door swung open into a plume of stale, cold air. What I saw down there, it wasn't just a basement. It was a workshop. And on a large table, under a single bare bulb, were marionettes, dozens of beautiful, lifelike puppets, each one frozen in a different pose, and in the center, one that looked exactly like a younger, vibrant Eleanor. I felt a chill that had nothing to do with the temperature. Then I saw the tools, the half-finished limbs, and a horrifying realization dawned on me. He wasn't just carving wood. That's when I heard the floorboards creak above me. He knew. I hid behind a stack of old furniture, my heart pounding against my ribs, my breath caught in my throat. I heard his slow, deliberate footsteps descending the stairs, looking for something. A cut it out, his voice no longer frail, but cold and sharp as splintered bone. Eleanor was so afraid of being alone, he said, his voice echoing in the chamber. I couldn't let her leave me, so I made sure she never would. I gave her new friends. I keep them all safe. Down here, in the dark, the light from the stairs silhouetted him, and a shadow stretched across the floor, long and monstrous, its fingers reaching for me. He wasn't just a lonely old man. He was a collector, and he had just found a new piece for his collection. The deepest fear isn't always what's hiding in the shadows. Sometimes, it's the person who controls them. Thanks for watching. If you were as creeped out as I was, hit that like button and subscribe for more Tales from the Dark. Stay safe out there.